That's why everybody who I watch my womb, everybody who is saying, oh, when are you gonna have kids? When I have emergency fund, give me money, okay? Yes. Ready? Hi, let's talk about family planning and why it is a secret to sustainable entrepreneurship. When we think about, in general, just the chaos of entrepreneurship and the instability and the headache and how we never know what the next day will look like, family planning actually gets us grounded. That's what this video is going to be about, and we're going to dive into it. If you're interested in this type of video, let's get into it. Welcome to my channel. My name is Zhara-Marie. I am an online operations manager helping you to streamline your systems for optimal peace, productivity, profit, and peace of mind. This is the family planning series. I've been talking about it. I've had, I think at this point, I don't know how many videos I have up about it. It might be 1, 2, or 3. But I wanted to talk about this one thing that a lot of us tend to skip. And it's the fact that, one, when we think about family planning, so this is a perspective shift that a lot of people don't think about. When we think about family planning, we think about it a lot in the context of having children. But what we don't think about is the other members of the family and how we also have to plan for how our lives integrate. So we're talking about ailing parents or just aging parents. We're talking about siblings who life circumstances will come up and you have to support them in some way. We're talking about death that will happen and just things that will shift. And when we think about even having a baby, it shifts a lot. So what is a true secret? Why is family planning such a hack for sustainable entrepreneurship? Well, one, it helps you with long-term vision and stability. Because if you're thinking about bringing a baby into the world and expanding your family, you have to think about the long term. The baby wants to, well, the baby don't really want to know because the baby don't really know nothing. But it's important that you think about how things will change when a baby comes. If you are going to be mommy, then your body will change. How you show up as a CEO will change. If you're going to be daddy, your body might not change, but your mind will change. It comes with all the anxiety. I mean, I've never had kids, but I've been around enough people who've had kids to know it truly changes your life. And then having a clear vision for what that will look like, it helps you so much to be strategic in business decisions, and it helps you to stabilize your business in a way that nothing else will, because you will be intrinsically motivated knowing that this is for this, right? When I think about why I've become an entrepreneur and I think about just having the ability to eventually stay at home with my children when I have them. I want to say stay at home. I don't mean like your regular Stanford where I stay at home type vibe, but more like being able to, if I get a call from the school, go without having to ask anybody permission, right? Or being able to take time off because the child is sick, or being able to decide how long I want for maternity leave just because my body might take a little while to recover. And because I have that in mind and I know that that's a key factor, the key reason why I became an entrepreneur in the first place, it helps me to now build a business that will help to facilitate that dream. And because I know that I have that dream, I work even harder. I want to get the goals harder. Like right now, I'm in a phase of business where I really want to work towards an emergency fund. For me, that's important because I knew if you're working with a company, they have some sort of emergency fund. So if things are supposed to go wrong and something like a pandemic is supposed to happen for 2 years and things shift, they could still continue paying their employees. And there's a big difference between the companies who had some type of emergency fund and the companies who didn't. And yeah, my company is not a big company yet, but you have to talk it into being. What will I am responsible for paying myself. And if something was supposed to happen that pauses things for a year, I don't know what I would want. I know I wouldn't survive, and I can't bring a child into that. So that's why everybody who I watch my womb, everybody who is saying, oh, when are you gonna have kids? When I have emergency fund, give me money, okay? Give me money towards the emergency fund. As a matter of fact, you know how they say money changes people? Try me. Use me as social experiment. I wanna just take one for the team, just test me, and then you'll see if money actually changed me. All right, second thing. The second reason why family planning is a hack for building a sustainable business: work-life integration. Now, I've always said there is no balance, there is harmony. Harmony means that things work together for good. Sometimes one part is high, sometimes it's low. That's how we get that nice sound, right? Now, it's going to be important that you build a business with work-life integration at its core, because then it helps you to integrate things changing in your personal life, things changing possibly in the business structure, delivery, and it also helps to create a business that makes sense for the way you want to live your life. So if you know that you are somebody that you take a lot of energy to be on a Zoom call, then you don't build a business around that have a lot of Zoom calls. Build something that you can close people in the DMs. Build something where you are texting. Build something that's text-based. But if you like to yap like me, then I get a lot of energy in talking to you. So building a business that allows me to talk to you will work. I closed down a clothing store a year ago. Why? Not because it wasn't doing good. It was doing great. I loved marketing. It was so much fun. But I could not build a business that was going to restrict me to physical products. It just did not work. And because I am thinking ahead on what I would want my ideal life to look like, I don't care. Even if you hire people are like, you could hire somebody. I would still have to manage them. I would still have to make sure that I am following with people from China, getting the products into Jamaica, dealing with customs, dealing with pricing, stock not selling, inventory. It was just something that was just not a business model that made sense. For me, it did not add value to my work-life integration. And for me, that shifted me to think about, okay, how do I create a business model that will never take me from my computer unless I want to, which I have because I want to, right? So that has been so key. Work-life integration and creating a business that makes sense. I have a price. I've always said I have a price. If somebody wants to pay me to go into office, I have a price. If you want to know that price, text me. You might not be able to afford it, but just in case you can and you want somebody like me to work with you, message me. I am buyable. I am buyable. Okay. And the other thing that allows family planning to be a hack for a sustainable business, resource allocation. It helps you to decide what is going where. You can forecast your major life events and you can budget. For me, that looked like making sure that we had enough money to get married, right? We wanted a nice wedding. And nice is relative. Nice looks different for everybody. And because I knew that at the time, I think, and that's a part of family planning too, when you're going to actually get married and move away, that's thinking about your spouse. And for us, I had a figure that we needed to save. And at the time, I think I was the one working more money. Not anymore though. Not anymore. Those were the days. But I think I was the one working more money. And we knew that because there was a figure that we wanted to get for the wedding, it meant that we needed to budget the finances that were coming in towards the wedding and towards starting life. Not just the wedding, but starting marriage and, getting new furniture and moving somewhere else and all of that. So it really helped to decide, where do these resources go? Should I buy this course right now? Yes or no? And at that time, I actually bought a course that was a really, really good investment that helped me to build a business for the next 2 years. It was a social media course, a social media agency course. And that course helped me to build the agency that I had for 2 years, which gave me so much freedom and just so much insight into online operations. So all to that to say is that because I had my family in my mind, I knew what I wanted to be doing in the next couple of years. It helped me to decide where these resources are going to go. What do I need to put first? What do I prioritize? How do I structure the finances? Then the last thing we'll tackle is that it helps you to build a supportive infrastructure when you have family planning at your forefront. Networking, your community. It helps you now to decide, okay, how am I going to be a mom and an entrepreneur at the same time? I need people who are in my community who are peers. I need people in my community who are going to be support staff. So not just the ones who will work with me, but the ones who I can refer people to. And then by the time you know it, you have such a good referral network that even if you decide to take a few months off after maternity leave because you've built such a great community, you come back with referrals, you come back with people rooting for you, you come back with so much advice. Like I had a client who went on maternity leave and I managed her business while she was off. And when I tell you that in her first week back, she had appointments back to back, I promise you. And that's because she used the opportunity to build great referrals, a good network. And of course, you're able to build people who will support you. So whatever your team will look like, pouring into your team. And I know I said that was the last one. I think this is the last one. And that's succession planning. As somebody who has seen things go left, right, and upside down when you don't plan for the future, succession planning is so important. And here, from the legal perspective, we think about, okay, who's going to take over after you die? But succession planning within a business is a part of family planning altogether. Because that, especially if you're in a bigger business than my own, like I'm alone, right? But you might be watching this and you might have a business where you have 4 or 5 different directors, right? And you have, a CMO, a CFO, and all of them are full-time and you have a big team. Now, if you're considering having a baby, if you're considering opening your home to a family member in need, if you're considering growing in whatever aspect, if you're considering to be the person who is going to be supporting your family, if you're going to be thinking about that, you have to plan for future leadership. If that's not a business hack, I don't know what is, right? You'll have to plan, okay, what will happen when I take this 1 year off that I want to take? Who will I now have to train so that when I take this 1 year off, these clients feel fulfilled? You might be building an app. You might be somebody who is in charge of a real estate firm. You might be somebody who has a big coaching company and you want to know what will happen when I have to take this year off. Will my clients suffer? They do not have to suffer. Right? And then also remember, you do not know who you are after a child has entered into the world. Things shift, things change, but because you are planning for the future leadership of your company, you are good to go. And you have to do that because you are what I like to call intrinsically motivated. You want to show up in your best self, right? You want to show up as the best version of you. And for me, that is a hack. And all of these things come together to help us to build a very sustainable business. And I know you might say, but Zara, I'm doing all of these things and I don't even have kids at the forefront of my mind at all. And that's fine, because we all have different dreams and different goals, right? However, I do think that because you have these things in mind, you have something that's going to help you to move forward, something that's going to motivate you, something that's going to push you in a way that nothing else can. When you are motivated by the people who you love, when you are motivated by your dream life, there is another level of excitement, another push of adrenaline that just comes into it all. And for me, that's the ultimate business hack, because you're not just doing things for metric's sake or doing things, because at some point you're gonna have all this money and then you do what with it? It has to go towards something. But I want to hear from you. How has planning for your, or not planning, I want to hear, did you not plan for expanding your family and how does that impact you? I'd love to hear that. I'd love if you could share your insights on that. Let's talk about it. You may help somebody. If you are new here and you haven't yet gotten my detailed family planning guide where I share the baby method, BABY, with everything, having a checklist on how you move from stage 1 all the way to stage 4 in order to create a business that will work for you throughout a maternity leave phase, click the link below and get your copy. Just opt in, grab it, and I would love if you continue to be a part of my email list where we talk about family planning a little bit more, systems, team productivity, all of that lovely stuff. Thanks so much for joining me on this video, and if you liked it, go ahead, like, share with a friend, subscribe, stick around. It's all fun over here. See you next time. Bye.